On today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you some tips on how to buy back time. So my number one tip when it comes to managing time and taking back that time is really trying to figure out what is the most important task that you are doing throughout the week or on a monthly basis. So you can zoom out a little bit more than just a week. The idea is to see what are some tasks that you have to do, tasks that nobody else on your team or nobody else can do but you. Those are things that are non-negotiables and you have to do them. So whether that is a personal level task or whether that is something that is in the professional sense. Like for example, I like to pick up my kids. That is not something that I have to do, but that's something I absolutely want to do. And so that becomes a non-negotiable unless there is something that is happening that is overarching everything else that's going on in my life at that point. Or, if I'm out of town or whatever. But generally, picking up the kids is a non-negotiable for me. So those are some of the things. So it's not only just things that only you can do, but things that you want to do. So write those down. See how they fit into your schedule. See what's going on and see the time frames that those things are fitting in. So again, zooming into your schedule, zooming out of your schedule, and seeing the stuff that you really want to do and the stuff that you have to do and you cannot delegate to somebody else as well. Which then takes me to number 2, delegation. It is so important to delegate the work that you don't have to do or the work you don't want to do. Why? Because there might be somebody else that does it better, they're more efficient at it, and they're more productive at it, which allows you that period of time that you would be working on it, whether it's weekly or monthly or once a year, but it helps you to free up that extra time and you're freeing it up for doing things that you are better at. Things that you want to do and things that you have to do. Number 3 is to really shed the things that don't serve you anymore. What are the things that are not serving you in your life? What are the things that don't bring value into your life anymore, but you're still doing it? You're doing it because you want to please somebody else. You're doing it because it's an obligation, but it's not a necessary obligation. Take those things out of your life. You don't need to do them. And I promise you, when they're out of your life, you're going to feel less burden and like a weight lifted off. Number 4, batching. Okay, I say batching and some of my team members are probably gonna be like, you're not good at it. I'm not good at it because I don't give it the time that I need to give it. But batching is everything, especially for like videos, things that take up time. I know that when I don't do my batch video recording, I get into absolute binds where I will have to either scrounge last minute or just say I can't do it. Because if I don't do it in the allotted time that I have in the week, it's hard for me to get to it in the other time periods because I just have other things that are happening during that week. And so batching is huge, whether you're writing content for your social media, whether you're creating videos, whether you're doing photography, whether it is, I'm going to batch work my client work. And so for me, it could be just, I'm going to file all of these LLCs this day. I'm going to create these contracts this day. Whatever your batching looks like, whether that is, I'm going to be working on these websites. So today's my client day. However you want to batch, you batch, but be committed to that time. And also have the action behind it to make sure that you're getting the job done. The 5th and final thing that I really employ is having a schedule. I love my schedules. I follow them pretty religiously, but I also allow myself flexibility. Another thing that's really important about buying back time is not feeling guilt all the time. So if you create a schedule for yourself, make it where it's viable, make it where it's achievable also. I had a really bad habit in the past to put in all these things that I wanted to get done. And I would continuously just keep adding to my list. And then, especially for the week, and I realized that I wasn't achieving some of the things that I really needed to get done because I was avoiding it. And I was doing all the other stuff, but I was avoiding the big, important things. And so that would just loom over my head all the time, and which would cause me to have guilt because I didn't achieve it. It could be the most minuscule thing in life, just maybe replying back to certain emails even, but I just didn't get into it. And so the thing is that make your goals for the week achievable so you're not setting yourself up for failure. And more than the failure, it is actually the guilt that comes in tandem with that feeling of, gosh, I just couldn't make it. And so schedules are wonderful, but make them viable, make them achievable, and make them where you can also understand that this and this and this is going to actually move the needle a little bit towards the goal that I have. And so you're making progress. Progress over perfection is everything. So have those goals set out for yourself. Have a list and schedule, however you see it for yourself, but make it where it's not overwhelming or it's just unachievable.